Good morning, my dear students, and a very warm welcome to all of you in this e-learning program. Friends, I hope you remember we are doing which lesson? We are doing chapter number 14, which is chemical effects of electric current. We have discussed a lots of things in that the context which is with respect to the chapter's name, that is the chemical effects of electric current. We started its basic thing in our last lecture. That is, in our last lecture, we studied about the electrolysis of water. What is water made up of now? You already know water is made up of hydrogen and oxygen, and they are combined in the ratio 2:1. Try to recall what we did in our last lecture. In our last lecture, we studied that whenever any acidified water through it, electric current is passed on, then we get both hydrogen and oxygen. Hydrogen is obtained at cathode while oxygen at anode. Hydrogen is in double the volume as compared to oxygen. What are the basic you can see what is the basic way by which hydrogen and oxygen gases can be distinguished? The two ways by which we can distinguish both the gases is hydrogen gas. This gas, whenever burnt, it will burn with a pop-up sound. Oxygen gas, when an ignited matchstick or incense stick it is brought, it will start burning violently. Why will this happen now? This happens because it is oxygen. Oxygen supports combustion, and so it's like that. Okay? So I hope you are understanding. In our last lecture, this is the content that we did about the electrolysis. What is electrolysis? It is the process of decomposition of water in presence of electricity. Now, there are few of the applications of this concept, that is electrolysis, and that is our today's content, that is applications of electrolysis. There are few applications among them. The very first one is in the manufacturing of the industrial chemicals. There are many chemicals you already know. Among them, one is sodium hydroxide, NaOH, that is caustic soda. What actually happens? Suppose this is the water which contains H2O. Through this, with the help of just this water, I want to form sodium hydroxide NaOH. Suppose if I add salt to this, so what will happen actually? Whenever electricity is allowed to pass through them, what will happen? NaCl, it will get decomposed into the ions. H2O again into ions. So what will happen? This Na and OH, they will combine, and what will they form? NaOH. And in this way, sodium hydroxide is manufactured. Yes, whenever the electrolysis of brine is a 20% salt solution, means whenever in the water 20% of salt is mixed, then at that time what do we get is the salt brine solution. When electrolysis of brine is done at that time, we get this product. Industrially, in this way, caustic soda, sodium hydroxide is formed. And in this way, in order to manufacture this, we are using it. Here, hydrogen gas is formed also. You have studied about this. Yes. When hydrogen is formed over here at the cathode, at that time, we also get as a byproduct hydrogen. Okay, so oxygen as well as hydrogen both are formed. So now I'm going to make you write the applications of it. The very first one, in manufacturing chemicals. This is the first topic of today. Applications of electrolysis. Among the applications of electrolysis, as we discussed right now, manufacturing of NaOH, that comes first. After that, on electrolysis of acidulated water, hydrogen gas is formed at cathode. And this is how chemical, that is various chemicals we are getting. And over here, oxygen is obtained as byproduct. Okay, first note down the very first one. Then we will move further on the next particular application of this. Be quick. Be quick. I hope you have noted. Coming to the next particular use of this electrolysis. The second application is the extraction of metals. Yes, you already have studied about the whole reactivity series, which is PSC Marcel. Okay, in that potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminum, zinc, iron, lead. So among that, PSC Marcel whole. Amongst them, we are going to see how few metals can be extracted with the help of electrolysis. You have studied up, you have heard about this metallurgical process. When we were doing chapter number 5 at that time, during discussion of the uses of coke, we had discussed little bit regarding the use of this process, that is metallurgy. Metallurgy is the process by which from ore we get the pure metal, and with the help of electricity, when we are able to extract the metals from its hydroxides or chlorides or its oxides, then it is ultimately a boon to us. So electricity is used even for obtaining the metal. So the next application of electrolysis is the extraction of metal. You already know about this: potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium and aluminium. Alright, are the elements. Potassium and sodium, they are generally found in the form of chlorides and hydroxides. So their electrolysis is done to obtain potassium and sodium from its chlorides and hydroxides. Coming to the next, calcium and magnesium. They are obtained from their respective chlorides. Coming to the next one, which is aluminium. Aluminium is generally forming the bonds with oxygen. So, electrolysis is helping to obtain aluminium from its corresponding oxide. So, this is the way you have to remember PSC Ma. Okay, here. So, potassium, sodium first with hydroxides and chloride, calcium, magnesium with their respective chlorides, and aluminium from its respective side. In this way, you are having about the extraction of metals. Please note down this. After that, we'll move for the next particular content, which is the refining of metals. Please quickly note it down. I hope you have noted it. Then next, third one, which is electrolytic refining, or you can say refining of metals. If we talk about the refining of metals, then in that we are knowing that there are many impurities in the ore which is obtained from the earth's crust. So the final stage of refining, where all the other things are removed and very few lastly, except you want the metal in its pure form, at that time in using some of the metals like copper, aluminium, silver, nickel, gold, electricity is used to refine them. So, the method of purifying metals using electricity is called as electro refining. That is this. Few of the examples are refining of copper, then aluminium, then nickel, silver, and gold. So these are the way which we get pure metal. So please note down this content, then we'll move for the last application, which is electroplating of copper. One example we will see of electroplating of copper. But before that, we will study what is electroplating and what are its objectives. First, note down this. I hope refining is done. Next, fourth application, which is electroplating. This is the fourth application of electrolysis, electroplating. Before we understand what is electroplating, let us first understand its definition. It is the process where we use electricity to deposit any superior metal over the object of any cheaper metal. Yes, you have heard about gold plated word. Gold plated, silver plated. These are the common words you have already heard till now. Gold plated means only a thin layer of gold is plated on it. It is not totally made up of gold. Okay, so many times, even those copper plated, every time it is not necessary that you get the same thing. Uh, like if it is gold plated, that doesn't mean that whole material is of gold. Only the outer layer of it is gold. So that is what is the meaning of like electroplating is one of the application. Okay, one of the way where you have already seen electroplating being done. So it is the process of depositing a thin layer of any superior metal over an object of any cheaper metal with the help of electric current is called as electroplating. The definition is very important and we need to learn it and memorize it over here only. What is it? The process of depositing a thin layer of a superior metal on an object of cheaper metal by the use of electricity is called electroplating. Okay, so what is electroplating? The process by which a superior metal is deposited over a cheaper metal by using what? Electricity. What is that called as? Electroplating. Once again, the process of depositing a thin layer of any superior metal on an object of any cheaper metal by the use of electricity. What will be that called as? It will be called as electroplating. The process of depositing a thin layer of any superior metal over the object of cheaper metal by using electric current. What is that called as? Electroplating. Note down the definition, then we will study about the objectives of it. So I hope electroplating has been mentioned. Now let us move further on the next particular topic over here. The next topic about it is the objectives of electroplating. What are the objectives of electroplating? Why there is a need to do this? Yes, Sometimes, to get the decorative, for the decorative purpose on flower vase and all, the decoration is done with the help of gold and silver. We cannot afford to have a whole gold flower vase. Yes, some can afford, but not all. But uh, even in the case of the decorations, it is used. Then, for preventing corrosion, iron, it is protected by doing its electroplating with nickel. Iron gets rusted very quickly, and so only in order to prevent the corrosion of iron, magnesium, zinc, this kind of metals are used. So this is about the prevention of corrosion. There are many objectives. Let us discuss one by one of them and also note down. In the objectives of electroplating, the very first one is for decorative purpose. Silver or gold plating of silver and gold plating of is done on the materials like copper, brass. One of them like flower vase. Next is to prevent corrosion. Second one is to prevent corrosion. Now what can be done for preventing corrosion? Iron can be coated with nickel. Next is brass objects like bathroom fittings. They are electroplated with chromium. Why chromium is used? Chromium is used because it gives hard scratch resistant. It is its property that it will not allow the scratches on it, and so only it is used for coating. Okay, so in order to prevent corrosion, we are electroplating the bathroom fittings with uh, chromium. If we talk further, tin and zinc coating on iron is not done by electroplating. If we want to deposit tin or zinc, we cannot use this method. For them, for their depositing, we have to dip them in its solution, or we have to pass the hot rollers sheets of them on the iron. Okay, that means if I want to deposit tin over iron, then its sheet, a roller sheet, hot, with the help of the rollers, a sheet will be transformed on it, and then it will be sticked on the surface of the iron. We cannot use electroplating over there. Okay, so metals like tin and zinc, coating on iron cannot be done by electrolysis. Hot rollers to make the coating. Once again, this is important thing. Tin and zinc, we cannot electroplate. What can we do? We can dip them or we can spray them, or hot rollers are allowed to pass through them so that on them the sheets will be coated, but we cannot use electroplating over there. Some typical metals which are used for electroplating are silver, chromium, gold and nickel. These are the metals used for electroplating. Gold, silver, nickel, and the last one is chromium. Okay, these are generally used. We are knowing that silver and gold, they are generally used for plating on all the jewelry items. Okay, gold and silver jewelry items. For all the jewelry items, we will be using gold and silver, while bathroom fittings, car parts and cycle parts, they are, for them chromium is used. Okay, so this is how uh, the electroplating, this is the reason why the electroplating is done. Once again, all the objectives of electroplating, let us revise. First one is for the decoration purpose. In order to decorate generally gold, silver, on any of the brass materials like flower vase, the electroplating can be done. Then for preventing corrosion, on iron, uh, generally they are protected by nickel, by doing the electroplating of nickel, and the bathroom fittings and all, they are electroplated by chromium. Tin and zinc, this their coating cannot be done by electrolysis. Why? uh, because we know that tin and this zinc, we cannot do their electroplating. So what can we do in order to coat them? For them, we are having the concept of just dip them in its solution, or just pass out the sheets of hot rollers over it. Then what will happen? The coating of this particular tin and zinc will be done. In steamers and all, where we are having the iron, when you are knowing that generally the steamers are made up of iron and they're constantly remaining in water, so every year there is loss of lakhs of rupees and the corrosion of iron takes place. So there, over there, zinc coating is done in order to prevent the corrosion of iron. Then next is the metals which are used. We are knowing it is gold, silver, chromium and nickel. If we talk about gold and silver, then they are used for making the jewelry, while chromium for bathroom fittings, cycle parts and car parts. So please note down these objectives quickly. Quickly note it down. Be quick. So I hope you have noted down this content. And that is all, my dear students, for today's content. Thank you so much for listening to me. In our tomorrow's lecture, we will understand the whole of the process of electroplating and how is electroplating being done. And that's all for today's content. Thank you so much and have a very good day. Bye bye.